Now, I'm about to talk to a bloke by the name of Daniel Bleakley. He's the co-founder and co-CEO of New Energy Transport. So he's got an interesting story to share with us. Bit of background, he's from coal country originally in Queensland. His parents run a petrol station. But these days, he runs a fleet of fully electric trucks. And his company has just made history by carrying out Australia's longest single-charge electric truck delivery. So how far did they get on a single charge? He's with us in the studio right now. Daniel, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ben. Thanks for having me.
I might wait on that answer first of all. I want to know what it's like for mum and dad at the moment running a petrol station. So whereabouts are they based?
Yeah, so they're based up in a town called Clermont, which is in central Queensland. It's about 300 kilometres west of Mackay. And yeah, my parents have been running a relatively large diesel depot up there for over 40 years. And I spoke to my father last week and he said it was the largest single day diesel price increase that he's ever seen, and that the price of diesel is going up around 10 cents a day, and that there has been quite a bit of panic buying up there.
So he doesn't have shortages where he is?
They don't yet, but they are a bit concerned that over the next few weeks it could get pretty tricky.
Chris Bowen, the Energy Minister, is saying it's going to get worse before it gets better. He's saying mid to late April is when we really need to worry. I'll tell you what, we shouldn't be shocked about this because our fuel reserves are so low, but it snuck up on us, didn't it? I mean, the war started and within a week or two, it's panic stations.
That's right, Ben. And, Australia burns through around 30 billion litres of diesel every year, and about 90% of that is imported, and a large portion of that comes from the Middle East. So Australia is highly exposed to these price spikes. And, it's already started hitting motorists, passenger vehicle drivers, but it's about to hit our road freight sector as well. And, over the last few days, the terminal gate diesel price, which is the price that a lot of large trucking companies work off, that's actually doubled, or almost doubled. So we're going to see freight costs increase on the order of 20 to 30% in the coming weeks.
So why did you get involved in electric trucks?
So I've been an advocate for electric vehicles for a long time, and the electric vehicles, or electric trucks in particular, are capable of operating at a much lower cost than diesel trucks. They're a bit more expensive to buy up front, but our modelling shows that you can actually reduce the cost of energy to power these trucks by around 70%, which means that even before this oil crisis, you're actually able to run these trucks at a lower cost than diesel trucks.
I'm keen to know what Dad said when the son from coal country, with mum and dad running a petrol station and a diesel depot, said, I'm going to invest in electric trucks. What was the reaction?
Well, Ben, we had some pretty interesting Christmas lunches over the years back in the day. But, my last time I was up there, my dad had installed a battery and solar system on his house, and he was bragging about how he was exporting energy into the grid. So he's become a bit of a convert, and is really backing what we're doing now.
What's motivating you? Is it wanting to do it for a decent price? What's the motivation?
Well, there's many factors, Ben. First of all, these trucks are cleaner. They don't pollute. They're much more efficient. They don't make any noise, so it reduces the noise pollution, not just for truck drivers, but also for communities. But really the big one right now is that they enable us to decouple from this global oil instability, and basically onshore that transport energy production here in Australia, so that we can run our entire freight system, including our food supply chain, from domestically produced energy right here in Australia, instead of being dependent on the Middle East.
Okay, tell us about this record that you've just set. So this is Daniel Bleakley, co-founder and co-CEO of New Energy Transport. His company's just made history by carrying out what's described as Australia's longest single charge electric truck delivery. Tell me what you did.
That's right, Ben. So back in October last year, we did a 480 kilometre single charge delivery. We went from Picton, just south of Sydney, all the way up to Beresfield near Newcastle, and back again with a 36-tonne single trailer combination. And we did that on one charge, and there was two really exciting outcomes from that demonstration. So the first was that we averaged around 1.25 kilowatt hours per kilometre. Now that might sound strange to some of your listeners, but that's basically basically the fuel efficiency of the truck. And running on, low cost energy, electricity, that means we could do that trip for around $50 of energy cost. Normally, it takes around $300 of diesel to do that equivalent trip. So the first big outcome is that electric trucks are capable of operating at a lower cost. The second big outcome was that we actually saved 40 minutes on the round trip. And the reason we're able to save that amount of time is because the electric trucks are able to maintain the speed limit going up hills. And a lot of your listeners have probably been stuck behind a diesel truck.
And they start dragging.
They do. They slow down up hills. They can slow down to, 80 or even 70 Ks an hour. So our driver, Tom, when he completed the trip, we asked him about his experience driving it. And he said that he absolutely loved it, but he said he got pulled into the weighbridge on the way back because they recognised that he was travelling unusually fast for a truck.
All right. Well, you might be faster going up hills, but I'm guessing you're slower when it comes to recharging.
That's a good question, Ben. And really, we're seeing a convergence of technologies now that mean that not only is battery capacity increasing, so these trucks can go 500, 600, even almost 700 kilometres of range. We're also seeing rapid development in the charging space. So now we see megawatt charging stations rolling out in Europe and in China, and that means you can charge one of these trucks in about an hour.
But as it currently stands, how long does it take to charge your truck?
So at the moment, you're probably talking around 500 kilowatts. So it does take a couple of hours. But we're currently developing Australia's largest electric truck depot between Sydney and Wollongong. And on that site, we are going to have a monster charging facility, and we're going to have megawatt charging installed that's going to be able to do this.
And look, everything will improve over time. It happens in any business, any technology. But I guess that'll be the thing that people will be looking at the moment, because truckies are under pressure to stick to a timetable. And so people will be weighing up, all right, well, this might be a cheaper alternative. It might be better for the environment, but am I going to lose money at the moment? I'm not saying in 5 or 10 years' time, because how long does it take to fill up a truck with diesel?
It's probably still going to take, like a large truck. I remember from when I was a kid growing up near my parents' diesel truck station. I think it would still take around 20 minutes to fill these tanks on a diesel truck.
So if you can get the charging aspect to be faster, then all of a sudden you're in the game.
Absolutely. Charging is key for this.
And do you use diesel generators to power the chargers?
No, we don't. So we'll be using a combination of on-site solar, and we're also connecting to the grid, but we'll be sourcing most of our energy from renewable energy. And, on the wholesale electricity market, we see prices drop down to 5 cents a kilowatt hour with all the solar that comes onto the grid every day. So we're going to tap into that really low-cost solar energy.
And I guess that's the motivation here. You want to be able to find smarter ways of doing business and cheaper ways of doing business while still being able to deliver.
Absolutely, Ben. And I think, this is an opportunity for Australia to really reimagine road freight. We step back and we take a fresh approach to it. It may mean that our operations look slightly different to what they do in a diesel context, but the opportunities are enormous.
Andrew on the text line says, has he received government funding?
We have a few announcements that we'll be making in the coming weeks, but we have received good support from government, and we understand that government will be making moves in this direction in the coming months.
Well, when you look at what's happening at the moment, we need to think outside the box, and you're certainly doing that. So we appreciate you coming in. Congrats on what you've done so far, and we'll see what you achieve in the times ahead. And if anyone's interested, you can look these guys up. They're called New Energy Transport. He's the co-founder and co-CEO, Daniel Bleakley. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks very much, Ben. I'll just add, your viewers can go to YouTube and search New Energy Transport, and they'll see a 5-minute clip of our demo, including interviews with the driver.
Good on you. Well, they can check that out right now. Go to YouTube and just search New Energy Transport.